98. Let's get to Dream Scenario, which is currently available on Max to stream. It's done by A24. It's directed by Christopher Borgli, stars Nicolas Cage, Lily Bird, Julianne Nicholson, Jessica Clement, David Klein, a few others. And the synopsis is an ordinary family man finds his life turned upside down when strangers suddenly start seeing him in their dreams. So I remember when this one first came out, people were like, oh, this is one of Nicolas Cage's best movie in years. It's a great A24 movie. Like, it's really wacky and out there and bizarre. You got to see it. And I just was waiting for it to come on Max, and it just did recently. It is one that, like, you really have to be in the right mood for. It is really weird and strange, and I think effectively so for the most part. I think it's probably one of the best takes on cancel culture and celebrity culture and the different sides of being a celebrity, or at least in the public eye, because, not to spoil anything too much, but it's basically like he's going about his normal life as a family man, a teacher, and then people suddenly start saying, hey, you were in my dream last night and I don't even know you. And then he out of nowhere becomes like a worldwide sensation. He's like the coolest guy in the world, and he's like, oh my god, how'd you do this? Like, you're so famous, and all these other things, and people want to do marketing deals with them and all this stuff and appear on interviews and news shows and all that stuff. And for a while he's like the coolest guy in the world and very famous. And then suddenly people start saying, hey, this dream happened and you like abused me, you hurt me, you scared me, this, that, and the other. And so then people suddenly start turning on him. And even though he hasn't done anything wrong, because he didn't want any of this to happen. And so I think the movie does really do well at explaining and showcasing how, regardless of what somebody did, whether it's a true thing or if it's an accusation, if you get accused of something in the public eye, basically people, for the most part, turn on you. You know, when somebody's career can be over like that. And so there's always that fear of someone, again, it could be true, it could be false, saying something about you, and then everybody knows about it. And so I think how it presents that and all the different scenarios in that way, it's very, very on point to me. And the effects it can have on someone in the public eye and how your life can change. And like, there's stalkers and people who break into their homes to just have a piece of their belongings, like almost like in Mother in a way. And so there's a lot of interesting, very creative elements to this movie that I was not expecting. It's really, really funny at times, but also has good drama, good emotion. Nicolas Cage is amazing. Love Nicolas Cage across the board. This is definitely one of his best as of late, both his performance and just the overall quality of the movie. There is one scene, I think I talked about it on my Letterboxd review, where I don't want to spoil it because it's really hysterical. I was like dying laughing. I was crying. But there's a scene with a young girl, like a college age girl, that he meets somewhere, and there is one moment that is like perfect comedic timing. Like, it is so funny. And that is just one small moment of many that I loved. And I think the stuff with, I can't remember the brand, maybe it's like Sprite or something, like the office marketing team that he meets, I think that's all very interesting. And then how people then see him differently when something happens and people start speaking out, all that stuff, and how when he tries to defend himself, it doesn't really work. He actually makes it worse sometimes. So I think there are so many elements that really do hit way harder than a lot of other movies recently that have tried to tackle cancel culture. I think this is by far the most creative out of any of them. So that is a heavy 4 out of 5.